Good evening, it is The Club. It's brought to you in association with Pitch Sport Football Fan App. Giving the fans a voice, get your free downloads on the App Store and Google Play Store, and we'll have a little bit more news on that just before the end of the show. So in tonight, for The Club, we've got Paddy. How's it going, Paddy?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
What's up?
Ça va?
Ça va très bien, merci beaucoup.
Très bien.
You read off your phone.
He used up everything in there.
We've got Shane Davro. How's it going?
All right, Dicko.
Yeah, you good?
All good, yeah.
Yeah. We've got Andy Young. I won the fight tonight for the host. How's it going over there, Andy?
Yeah, all good. Come out with your blackened hands.
And on decks, we have got Gar. You all right, Gar?
Well, thank you.
Very good. Right, tonight we'll just have a brief look back at the FA Cup because it came after the club last week, so we'll just have a quick chat about that and our expectations for the FA Cup. We'll have a look ahead against for the game against Norwich on Saturday. Strange set of fixtures the way it's all panned out, but Saturday tea time. And then we'll, seeing as there's not an awful lot going on, we'll delve into some questions that have cropped up on Twitter today. And amongst that, we'll probably talk about some of these links back to players who've left and people are desperate for us to get back in the summer.
What time's tea time, right?
What time's tea time? Yeah. It's 5:30.
Okay. There's a new regime here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right,
I need to be careful. I know. Yeah. I'm going to have to watch my step.
We don't
we
don't say tea time in New Orleans.
What do we say?
Something that the British brought here, and that's all finished now.
It's all, it's all over. I'm going to have to adapt, am I?
Yeah.
Adapt or get the boat back, yeah?
That's dinner time.
I thought I see a Dicko with a Sinn Féin sticker on the back of his jammer driving down, so he's all right.
You have to.
So we'll look back a week. A week's a long time, as I'm finding out quite quickly. A week is a long time. The FA Cup last week, the kids went out and did a job. We've now given ourselves a bit of a fresh problem in that now we've got to play Chelsea midweek, 5th round. Bit of a selection conundrum coming up there. But what did you think, Paddy, of the young lads?
Thought he'd done enough on the night. Obviously, I know it was an own goal that they scored, but I think as the rounds go on and we get closer and closer to the final, I think Klopp will start looking at it in a little bit more competitive light. I think now it stands all the lads in good stead, how they've played, and they've actually given themselves a good account of themselves. And to be honest with you, it actually helps us out a lot in the long run because we're looking at young lads now who we probably mightn't have seen until the middle of next season, but now we're getting to see them a year earlier.
Yeah.
Blood's the main. You see they're buying into the philosophy of the club and what we're all about, and it's a positive thing. And for me personally, I'd put them out against Chelsea again and probably throw in the likes of Milner and Lallana just to give them a dig out with that little bit of experience that they were missing. I'd say we seen pictures of Milner at the game. I'd say if he was fit and willing, I'd say he probably would have played if he was allowed. But again, for me personally, it's another game, it's another win, another turns Anfield into another fortress in another competition. So it becomes a mentality thing now where teams come to players, and although Shrewsbury gave a very, very good account of themselves in their ground, I think it's a little bit more of a pressure when you come to Anfield and play, no matter if it's the kids or the first team. There is that little bit of extra pressure on top of the opposition. Yeah. And that adds to with the kids winning, of course. Yeah,
I think, Shane, it felt a bit sorry for Shrewsbury because I don't think they kind of really knew how to approach that game in some ways, and they kind of, because even though they were on the big stage, they weren't against the big name players, so they didn't seem to rise to the occasion, did they?
It's kind of a bit of a, like, if you kind of step back a bit from it, kind of a bit of a master stroke from Klopp, because whatever happened, he was getting the brunt of it.
Yeah.
So it took the pressure off the lads going out, you know what I mean? He wasn't there, so all the talk leading up to the game was him not being there. Sure, but like the rights and wrongs of that. So he wasn't at the game, and you could tell. You know, listen, obviously, like us all, I watched it on a kind of stream that was all right, but not brilliant. But from what I seen of it, anyway, they were. I thought they were excellent. Thought they were really good. Played with pressure off them, and like Ricketts came out after the Shrewsbury manager said we couldn't get near them. Literally, we could not get near them.
They had the maybe if that goal would have stood and they didn't get it chalked off for the offside, which was a little bit unlucky, but it was offside at the end of the day. But maybe if they go one up, the heads drop a little bit and
they probably just sit back in and try and
catches on the break.
Catches on the break. But look at the VAR went for them in the first game.
Correct.
Penalty was probably outside the box. Liverpool might have got a handball with that when the man leaned into it on the cross. So listen, there's no point in. Like, I was surprised he actually had a bit of a crib about the VAR, to be honest. I was surprised at that, but ultimately for the young lads, like, that's a League One manager, they're mid-table in League One, and they basically got the brakes spread off them by a team of 23s, and that's not me having a go at them, it's more the positive spin to put on the 23s. A lot of them there, the likes of, like, Jones stood out and Neco Williams, for me, obviously, but, like, Chiravella is, like, he's really the captain of that side without the arm, man. Like, for me, any footballing side bottom half of the Premier League, he probably gets a game.
Potentially,
you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we've seen
really positive.
We've seen plenty of our players go out to, you know, lower half Premier League teams on loan or challenging Championship teams, and Chiravella definitely looks like he could fall into that category if he wants to do that. Andy, if we're going to take 3 or 4 players through to Chelsea and maybe beyond as a blended team, who are the sort of 3 that you would carry on with through the competition?
Yeah, it's a funny one now because we're only one more round away from probably be able to prioritise the FA Cup and start playing full strength.
That's right, yeah.
So
based on us winning the league, but at that point, pretty much.
I don't buy into any of the ideas that Klopp kind of has completely disrespected the FA Cup and doesn't want it. I think the situation left himself with no other option, and I agree with Davo. It was a bit of a masterstroke to make a League One team feel like
pressure put on them, wasn't it?
Yeah, Liverpool are the underdogs.
Yeah,
you know, so it was a bit of a masterstroke, and I mean the obvious players: Elliott, Williams,
Hoover was back.
Yeah,
did okay.
I don't think we're going to see like even a half youth team against Chelsea. I think we're probably going to see
maybe 4.
Yeah,
maximum.
Probably even our own best 11. Kind of rotated, and mostly first team players that aren't getting they switch around the midfield or whatever. Yeah, it's not like the reason when that fixture was announced it was going to be Thursday night and then Saturday. So
it's Tuesday now, isn't it?
It's Tuesday now. So there's a good gap. We're playing Saturday, Tuesday, and then the following Monday, is it?
Oh, is that before the Everton game, is it?
No. It's Monday, then Saturday, then Tuesday, then Saturday again.
Okay.
So, it's all good. We can start taking that FA Cup seriously again. And I'm sure Klopp won't look down at...
He made his point, didn't he?
He made his point. Yeah, he made his point, and now there's a chance of another trophy to get on the board, and I don't think Klopp will, pass that opportunity up.
But it comes down to plan as well, doesn't it? I don't know if a lot of people realise that.
They Bournemouth at 12:30 after on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Saturday at 12:30.
So I don't think people probably appreciated that, like Mo Salah's wife, Hendo's wife were having these planned, births over the weekend. So you add that to seeing the players going to the likes of the Maldives and all these kind of things. Like it was all pre-planned, pre-arranged. There was no way.
How funny would it have been if Klopp came out and says, some of the lads have holidays planned, some have babies planned.
That was what was going on ultimately, and he wasn't gonna. He wasn't gonna.
And there was people getting baptised as well.
more.
Like you can't seriously tell your team they're off and organise baptisms. Baby deliveries, holidays, and whatever else.
A video comes out of Alisson Becker dipping Jordan Henderson's baby. All bets are off. Sorry, that man he should have a black jersey with a little white tip on the top like a priest. That's what he
manages to convince Mo Salah as well. Then he really is doing something.
That's a different road. We're not going to go down that road. That's a different animal.
So look, it's all panned out beautifully anyway, hasn't it? So we go into the next game against Norwich. The City thing yesterday, the game getting postponed. To me, that potentially means I'm starting to think now we're just going to win it at the Etihad. To be honest with you, because that's the most logical place in some respects, because it's a 6-pointer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the Etihad now. So
well, it pushes it, doesn't it?
Well, the fact that they're out of the game means we can't do it as quick.
Yeah, I think Goodison's
I thought it would have been
a longer shot.
Yeah, it's Palace or City, isn't it?
Where would you rather? I know as a Liverpool man, you'd rather in Everton, but
I just like the thoughts of doing it. The Etihad's just to stick it up them. Do you know what I mean?
About 40 Man City fans at the game, and the away end jammers.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
The amount of people, there'll be a lot of people who probably will travel up there, even if they don't get a ticket, because it's so accessible.
Yeah, look, I take that, because I think the Palace game we play before City. So if we were to win it at that, then we don't win it on the pitch, because I think they go and play maybe a night at the game after something.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but this idea of playing first and then them dropping points after us for us to win the league doesn't.
Would you think? This is just a question I'm asking everyone here. Yeah. Do you think Guardiola would go as far as to try and upset the way we win it, so we win it when we're not playing, type of thing?
No, because I don't think Guardiola dislikes us.
Do you know?
No. I mean, he's got plenty of whinges about, but I think it's all kind of about himself and City's failures, and the criticism City came into when they were running away with it, and what other people said, like, they need a competitor, and now Liverpool, and nobody's saying it about Liverpool. I think it's more about him. I think Pep's sound.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Matt didn't say that on Fat Back 4 last night. No, he's not.
No.
He's not.
But you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, for us would he like us to win it before we get to the Etihad? Would he rather just give us a guard if I'm not walking out, or do you think he would not rather like us to beat them and win it?
I think they're in the kind of situation now. It's hard to turn it on and off. So people are kind of saying about them is now, right, look, the league is gone, obviously. Whatever, like, they have a fucking hell of a tie against Madrid. Madrid are not conceding many goals. That win every week. Yeah. That kind of Madrid are coming into that tie kind of under the radar a small bit, even though they're top of the league.
And I heard
16
to 1 they are. 16 to 1 to win the Champions League. They're kind of being unconsidered now.
Well.
Madrid.
So City haven't been playing well, so they're going to have to bring some form into them games. So I don't think they're going to throw the towel in the league. I think they're going to try and play themselves into a bit better form to try and cope with Madrid over the 2 legs.
It's a belter of a fixture to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Yeah, so, I mean, Norwich for us then at the weekend. So, Paddy, do you expect us just to go and roll out the best 11?
I expect us to do
best 11. Bearing in mind, we've got to go and play
Atletico
on Tuesday night.
I'd say, well, this is my opinion, probably doesn't matter to many people, but I would like to think that the way the team has played up to now is, I don't know which manager came out and said, or which player came out and said, Liverpool don't take you for granted for a second when they play against you. So I don't think Norwich will be given any other thing than that. I think we'll go out, we'll be professional, get the result, try and put it to bed early doors, and then start resting lads. We say Klopp doesn't have one eye on Atletico, of course he does, but he will be focused on Norwich, and I'd imagine that the lads will be up, the players will be really up for it. We're an eye on the game during the week, and hopefully try and put it to bed early. Of course, we're everybody's cup final now. Every other team in the league plays us, knock Liverpool, try and stop their unbeaten run, try and beat them, take another draw off them, because as we said in here before, another draw other teams would be delighted. The only team that won't be happy if we draw a side would be Manchester United, because that's the only thing they have this season is drawing them with us. So for me personally, I think that we'll go out, do the job, get it done early doors, 60-70 minutes, dodgy 4-0 win, as Grizzlies say, hard 4-0 win. But again, I think the major prize for Klopp is the league, in my opinion, and then the Champions League will take second fiddle. And listen, Atletico Madrid are no mugs either. No. They're a decent side, and we'll have to be on it, and they will have one eye on the game, I'd like to think, going into Norwich. Yeah.
So any players, Shane, that you think might, you might want to give a run out to the likes of Keita, maybe?
Kind of
against Norwich.
It's Norwich, right? So you would imagine no matter what 11 he puts out within reason is going to be good enough to beat them. Like they're a decent side going forward. Norwich, they create some chances. Pukki knows where the net is, but they're extremely open. They give up a lot of chances. So it's kind of a kind of one where you put out an 11 and keep maybe Salah and a couple of them on the bench, and if after 70 you don't like what's happening or it's 0-0 or whatever, to bring them on. I'd imagine he'll probably go as strong as he can and try and get the game put to bed. And if he gets the game put to bed, then make a couple of changes. But at the same time, he will have a lot of faith in some of them squad players, like Keita, that he's back fit. Maybe he sees that as a perfect game for him to come into, resting Henderson or somebody. Do you know what I mean? But I look at
Oxlade-Chamberlain,
or Oxlade-Chamberlain. I do think he goes fairly strong and tries to get the game put to bed, and then thinking about and then uses substitutions accordingly with the game and game against Atletico.
Got Mane coming back from injury, Andy. So do you think he throws him in, or do you think maybe he's a bit more cautious with him getting ready to play against Atletico?
Shapes and training. Legs are stretched out. He must be for training.
He's back full training, but is it?
There's no reason why Mane wouldn't start like he started every other game. He's being fit, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the strongest 11 playing both games and substitutions. Yeah, you know, we've just had
60 minute predetermined sub on 60 and 70 potentially.
A couple of weeks off now at this stage, so
we were motoring teams after 2 and 3 days rest. So imagine what we're going to be like. Well, hopefully players got after.
Well, sometimes we're a bit iffy after a 2-week break. You know what I mean? But this is a different type of 2-week breek because it's not an international break.
Well, it's probably better. It's probably better.
There's people delivering babies and dipping people and all. There's all mad shit going on.
If you look at Fabinho, definitely needs minutes.
100%.
He's a bit rusty in some games, but he's one he's probably nailed on to start.
Both games.
For match minutes.
You'll probably see a change in midfield. But I mean, back four is going to be the same for both games. And probably the front three is going to be the same for both games.
Will you see Minamino get minutes at Norwich instead of Atletico? I
mean, he probably will. Like, I think there's a couple of players going to get a half an hour in each.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm thinking. Maybe he goes with a Minamino in the front three and brings Mane on with half an hour to go, just to give him some time.
I think whatever team he puts out, you would imagine that the game won't be gone. I know that sounds stupid, but like if he puts out a team maybe with his 3 or 4 starters not playing, you can imagine at 70 minutes we'll be in the game. And if he needs to make changes, then he can do that, and he's getting 2 birds with the one stone, getting the lads minutes. But ultimately, you would imagine he'd like to get the game done and dusted and be a couple of goals up going into the last 20.
Yeah.
Really, like.
Jeez, that's a noisy bag of sweet opening that's going on down there.
Nice sweets.
Trying to do it on the QT, and he's a
These are all dead when Phil gets just.
Phil go mad.
So we started sort of talking about the Champions League a little bit there. It was only today really that I realised that it's all starting again next week, and it got me really excited the thought of it, because obviously we've got into this routine of just going out and beating teams in the league, and it's got, look, let's not take anything away from us romping this league, but in some ways it's got a little bit kind of mundane. But going out beating teams every week, this is something fresh. This is getting back into a competition that we love, the players love. I mean, are you looking forward to next Tuesday and the type of challenge that's going to present? Because we know what Atletico are all about, don't we?
We know what Atletico are all about, but at the same time, I think it's going to showcase how good we are. How like people are saying we're the best team in the world, best team in Europe.
Yeah.
I think over the next 2 games you see that little bit of distance between us and everybody else. Out of all the teams in the Champions League, my opinion, I think Atletico are one of the hardest to play, especially over there. Simeone does have them ready to rock, and they play a certain style over there. And against us, we'll have to break them down, and it's going to be a tough game. But again, if you want to see how good we are and how good this team is, I think that games like this is what players will thrive on. Playing a good Atletico side, beating a good Atletico side, and going on to the next round. I think this is obviously the players won the Champions League last year, and the players seen what it meant to the city, and obviously they're going one better with the league this year, please God. And just hopefully if they do the double, the Champions League and the league together, I think the mindset is there for the players to do that. I don't see I don't see anybody in the squad who's not putting in the work, who's moping around. There's no rumours coming out about players wanting to leave. There's nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
It just showcases how good we are and how far we've come in 4 years, that we are the pinnacle of European football, and teams playing us see us as the biggest game in the world, or the biggest challenge in Europe. But that's just me.
I mean, Shane, like when we won the Champions League last time around and we were defending it, you couldn't argue that we were the best team in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Now we can genuinely have that argument, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, look, without a doubt.
Right.
Yeah, look, without a doubt, we're going into the game, and like from listening to different things around Atletico and different podcasts and stuff like that, they're struggling at the minute. I think they're 6th. They're in some weird kind of run. They've
fourth. I think they must have picked up a couple of places at the weekend, did they?
They must have won the weekend, but they're in some weird one there. They hadn't won a few games before the weekend. They're not scoring goals. Costa is still out. Your man, that young lad they got off Benfica. What's his name? Paid all the dough for up front.
Who's your researcher?
This is the only one I don't listen to.
How come I don't get a fucking researcher?
He's out injured. The kid that they bought for all the money, he's out injured. They've been struggling. A lot of talk about over there. Like the Getafe are ahead of them, so they've been told about, say,
Felix Joe.
Felix. All the talk over there is they're not even the second team. Madrid now, they're the third team, because Getafe were in the Champions League place before the weekend. So they're
the third.
It's kind of. We kind of need to be wary, because they're like we were saying about the 23s coming in under the radar and all that. All the talk from anyone I'm listening to, you see tweets about Atletico not performing well and Liverpool are going to murder them, from Spanish-based journalists, etc. and all that. Nobody's giving them a chance at all. So that worries me slightly, because they farm in the Champions League, obviously.
The one thing they do, though, and you look at even the last few results in the league, won 1-0, lost 1-0, drew 0-0. Yeah. This is the type of scenario that we're potentially in. And that's obviously dangerous, because we could end up in a situation where we draw there 0-0, for instance.
Exactly.
And then you've got away goals.
I think if we get an away goal, we go through. And hopefully, with it being, obviously it's an away game, but good memories going back there to the stadium, so where we picked up the Champions League. So hopefully that all works in our favour.
Yeah. And Andy, in terms of any other Champions League games, I mean, will you be taking an interest in the City Madrid game?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's I mean, when you're so involved in the Champions League again, as we were, and years ago when we qualified for the Champions League every year, you loved it. I'm starting to love it again.
Yeah,
and especially going with the fact that you feel like we can win it. I think there's a bit of drama to come in the Champions League. We've often used this point when Liverpool have been playing with a team that's running away with a league, that they may be being asleep for weeks,
sleepwalking into the Champions League and get caught out.
All of a sudden they come in, and obviously Atletico are going to be hungry because their league season is not going too well, so we have to be very careful of that. So I think we could be in for a big night in Anfield in a couple of weeks' time. But get back to your actual question.
Just on that, I think like they always say it with draws, like the draw is earlier on, say November or whenever the draw is, and it's a while before it comes around and stuff like that. I think the way the draws have kind of fallen and the way it's kind of panned out, there's some serious ties there, like Atletico Borussia Dortmund and PSG. That could be 9-0. Over 2 games. Dortmund are scoring loads of goals, conceding loads of goals. PSG don't get tested.
Yeah,
and when they
same
do,
old.
They kind of throw it in.
Yeah,
Napoli, Barcelona. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, because they look to be just struggling.
Yeah,
club top down rows with Messi and Abidal. From the top down, like Napoli, fair enough, are struggling a bit though. That's who Barcelona are playing. I think it's Napoli.
And they're all strung out, aren't they? Isn't it like one game a night, so we can actually sit down and watch all of these things? Yeah.
Results 1-0, 1-0.
Yeah.
You've City and Real Madrid. So I think they've all kind of like there's some really, really good ones to look forward to.
Yeah.
Like apart from obviously our one.
Apart from our one, yeah. No, it's like Who would not want to be in the Champions League at this point? You know what I mean? Poor old United fans are going to have to go dip the toe back in the Europa League.
That's the level we're at, Dicko. We're streets above everybody. Yeah. Everybody in England, and we're not too far ahead of everyone in Europe either.
Yeah. Who did Chelsea pull in the end in the draw?
Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's okay.
Spurs got Leipzig, didn't they? Spurs got Leipzig.
Yeah. So there's plenty of decent ties there to look forward to.
Atlanta and Valencia both should really get knocked out of that.
Valencia top Chelsea group, and Atalanta, right? Yeah. They are absolutely. They're like Liverpool under Brendan Rodgers.
They're a wild card.
They're just brilliant going forward. Score loads of goals, but just concede goals. Great to watch.
Sacco, Cola and Glenn Johnson play at the back from.
They're a great.
Me and John Glenson. John Glenson, yeah.
Sacco must be
new bloke.
So, look, we mentioned some of the European teams there, and it sort of links it into some of the players that have left us recently, yeah? That's in the last few years. The two big ones, and this will be to Juicy's disgust, because he said the one thing he didn't want us to talk about was Coutinho and Chan.
Yeah.
Well, unlucky, because we are going to talk about them.
Speak about it?
Juicy.
Oh, yeah.
Friend of the show, personal friend, direct line into Andy, and all his aliases on Twitter. So, look, Chan and Coutinho are the two that seem to come up time and time again. Chan scored a wonder goal at the weekend, which was replayed. Yeah. And then I go and have a look at the final score, and they lose the game 4-3, but everyone's just concentrating on his wonder goal. Any regret? Are there any players that you would say were regret and let go over the last few years, or are we more than happy to just let them do what they're doing elsewhere? Andy, is there?
I can't think of a single player really. Suarez, I would obviously love.
Yeah, coming to my head today after. Yeah,
but no, I mean, let's face it. Emre Can and Coutinho are splitters.
Yeah,
they didn't want to play for Liverpool.
Yeah,
and you shouldn't get to make that choice twice. You know, I know Rushy came back and over the years, but there were, complicated situations.
Yeah.
Liverpool were on a surge. Everybody could see that things were getting so good.
Yeah.
Coutinho funded two of the best signings the club has ever made.
Thank you.
How could you have regrets? And then Emre Can got offered a deal, but it didn't include a buyout clause. There's nobody else in the team or in the squad looking for buyout clauses.
Yeah.
So why did he want one? I don't know. Look, you have to let go of players. I think the last time I was really, really sad about losing a player was Torres. Before that, Fowler. And Suarez was kind of coming for a while. But the only player,
Michael Owen, would he have been in that category as well at the time when he went to Madrid?
Yeah, no.
But that was different
for a while, didn't it?
Yeah, at the time he was the best player in the world. So now the best players went to the Galacticos. That's just what happened. But now,
McManaman really got to me at the time. Yeah.
But no, looking back, Suarez would be the only player that I would love to see in this era, in the Klopp era.
I'd say Sterling. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but Raheem Sterling is a different level. He's a different animal at City, and if he played for us, he'd be a different animal again.
Yeah, well, like we are kind of.
Do you think he'd have made a different decision if we'd have been, as good as we are now, or do you think he would always have chosen a different direction?
I'm not sure. Like obviously, if someone can tell you that Pep Guardiola is coming to the club to manage it, you're gonna go there. I don't know how long they knew Guardiola was gonna go, but someone's in his ear saying if you go here we're lining up Guardiola. Maybe didn't know at the time that Klopp was coming in. Rodgers was probably settling in, and we seen in the documentary that him and Rodgers didn't get on.
No.
Maybe he was only a young fella at the time, so maybe Rodgers didn't bode well with younger players, where Guardiola has that that in his locker where he brings younger players through and nurtures them into something really, really, really good. But for me, same as Andy said, Suarez, I would have loved to keep Suarez, but the man's a lunatic. The man is an absolute madman. But when he was at the club, he was a madman, and then he went to Barcelona, and people are annoyed because of the things he said. You can't go.
At Barcelona, they harnessed that. I think, like, you know, the second bite was when he knew he wanted out.
Yeah. But it's the same for South.
He did the same at 2 clubs in Holland.
Yeah. He won.
Yeah, he was a madman there, wasn't he? And he kicked up a fuss to get himself out.
But you know, you have to have winners like that on the pitch, and you know, you look at the team now full of winners. I don't know whether Sterling will be too soft for what we have now.
I think one thing that's understated is Mane's a fucking dirty bastard, and he wants to be. No, he is, seriously. Man, like at Southampton, Mane used to get booked a lot for leaving the boot in and late challenges. So Mane has that bit of bite about him. Salah not so much. And Firmino is just unplayable. So
Salah and Sterling are similar enough in that way. Like just a little bit of a tussle on the pitch, and the game can kind of get away from them. There's their concentration over it. But both players, obviously, when they're flying, and they turn teams inside out. And one thing we're lacking is a fourth player of that quality that we prepared to come in and out. But I don't think we'd have the success and the joy we're having unless we had the availability of Mane, Firmino, and Salah all the time. So, and I mean, I was saying I'd love Suarez to be involved in that. But again, how disruptive would he have been to those three?
Yeah, given some of his shenanigans.
I don't disagree with the lads, but like it's just on a different strand to that. I think, like, it's no secret, like the likes of the Latin footballers, South Americans, stuff like that. Madrid and Barcelona is obviously the pinnacle.
And the lifestyle they live there is more in line with what they're used to. Yeah,
Klopp is very visibly going to be able to point to any player, be it Firmino or Mane or whoever, and point to Coutinho and go, look, they were selling him the same thing they're selling you there now. Look at him now. He's like, for me, looking at him now, he's lost.
He's a journeyman.
He could end up at Valencia or something like that.
Who?
Coutinho, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's lost. Like, Klopp didn't want him to go. Obviously, adjusted formation to get us better when he did go. But Klopp is going to be able to point to them players now and just go, look, he was sold
the dream.
To go there. And look how quickly and how far
he's fallen.
Yeah.
Now, look, I know when we're sitting down here, he's at Bayern Munich, and that's fucking not bad. But I mean, they don't want to buy him.
No,
he's getting offered around for 60 million quid or something like that.
Well,
so, like, do you know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that. Don't think that the grass is greener. Fair enough, it's Madrid.
No, it's a great.
There's two examples of that. Can is the same. Can is saying go to Juventus, do this, and then he wasn't even named in that Champions League squad.
Yeah,
he must be sitting in the gap going, "Fuck me, this is not a bollocks. Why did I go? Why did I leave?" But again,
there had to be a martyr. I don't know.
It has to be behind closed doors. You don't know what's said. As Klopp came out and said, "If you stay here, we'll build statues of you, and if you go, you'll regret it." Well,
there's people like peddling the links now back to Liverpool for Coutinho, but I just don't see how it's possible. Like, we've got quite a few players behind the front three that Klopp wouldn't have given up on yet. Like, you've Naby Keita there, and you've Minamino,
Ox, Lallana.
Yeah, exactly. Lallana probably gonna go in the summer. But there's three players.
But he's going to look to nurture Harvey Elliott through as well over the next couple of years, isn't he?
Yeah, I think Curtis Jones is probably the closest one. The one that we could he could take Lallana's place in the squad. Like, probably will
in the summer.
Curtis Jones has the potential to be the next kind of Trent.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about being a local kid that comes into a good, strong side that they just excel.
Andy, there's something different about him. He's so good in the ball. He has that cockiness that a top pro should have. You know, he's so arrogant on the ball. The way he passes the ball around, he always seems to be free.
Yeah, he glides.
And the best pros always seem to glide through games. And he seems to be one of them players. And friends, and the chap's only a kid. And I agree with Davo. I know I had this argument there, but he replaces Lallana without a doubt. There's a reason why Klopp's giving him more and more game time, bringing him on before the likes of Lallana in games as well. Players you would have thought, Jesus, I thought he would have got a few minutes on ahead of him. There's a reason why he's getting
Did I not see an interview with Henderson saying that he said them young players are the reason why we're playing so well, because them young players are chomping at the bit to get in. Although, they're only young, but Henderson saying we're being pushed with the likes of Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott, he says, every day of the week.
That only aids their development, Paddy. In a squad like that's flying in all rounds, cups, league, that only aids their development as a kid. You're going in there going, Jesus.
This is the level.
We want to be part of this.
When you see it, the links to Coutinho, and then you have links to that kid Havertz as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's always going to bring in a player that's going to stand in the way of another 19-year-old in, I don't know, what's Jones?
18, is he?
19,
like, that's going to get in the way of his development.
Unless the deal is absolutely like nearly for free.
Like a Minamino.
That's the only way.
Like a Minamino, it's a
that's the only way to
no-brainer.
see him
Or a
come back, where the deal
Shaqiri.
is still good to resist.
Minamino's a bit of a utility player. Like, he can play in multiple positions. But somebody like Havertz or Coutinho coming in, it's just going to stop Curtis Jones. You're going to see, I wouldn't even be surprised if Jones played against Norwich.
Yeah.
You know,
or a game like that coming up in the next 4 or 5, Bournemouth at home or something.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him start whenever we do get over the line. The rest of the game for the rest of the season. I know Sean wants invincible and all that. That's not really. I don't really care about that.
Yeah, but you only need to rotate a couple.
Saying that he's going to have to rotate players. And by the way, playing Curtis Jones doesn't mean you're automatically going to drop points or lose a game.
No.
I think when we do get over the line in the league,
be full steam Champions League.
Yeah, it'll be full steam Champions League, and I think them lads will definitely see. I think particularly Jones, and I think James Pearce has already said that Klopp has, well, according to James Pearce, Neco Williams will play some games when the league gets wrapped up.
Yeah,
but they only have to they only have to play 5 games and they get a medal as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely
5. Yeah, 5 it is. Yeah, it used to be 10, I think, but it's 5 now. So
are we not bringing Gerrard back to play
5 games?
It's crazy how some fans think, but then I just don't know. That's Twitter, and
it's not real life.
It's not really. Anyway, real reflection on the fan base.
No.
Retweets and likes don't equals real opinions.
Emre Can scored a worldie the other day, right? He played in the middle of the park with Witzel, scored a worldie. His team got beaten 4-3.
Yeah.
I like Can when he played for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Fond of a bowl of pasta, but who isn't? I like them.
Sitting here can't say we don't like a bowl of pasta.
Exactly. I like them. I like them. Disappointed he went. Same. I was a fan of Sacco. I thought he was. I said on here before, he could play out from the back through the lines and whatnot. But that Coutinho, obviously loved him, brilliant player. I don't give a fuck what they're doing now.
No,
I literally don't care.
And to me, a lot of
if they saw him back, I go, right, grand, where do they fit in? But people putting up pictures of Chance fucking goal the other day to denigrate Henderson and Wijnaldum and our midfield, and he'd get in this midfield. Fucking get out of the gaff a bit more, man. He doesn't play for us anymore.
It's crazy.
But the thing is, with the two of them, lads, Chan's mobility was a huge. You know, someone said to me he was faster than Mane the other day. I saw it on Twitter. I was like,
but that's like,
come on. Your post fan is faster than him.
That's like the two big lads on Mario Kart when they get going.
Bowser.
Yeah, Bowser. Like they start off like a truck, and then once they get going, they're flying. But no.
That side has evolved hugely with them two.
I still think some of his better games was when he had that little period where he had to play centre back because we were kind of out of options and we were trying to find ways of stopping conceding ridiculous amounts of goals. You know.
Yeah. Come here, I don't know. I always find players that live like a little. It's just ingrained in me that they feel like the enemy. Then, like you don't.
Sorry, Andy, to cut across you. I'll just say this: if Klopp gets rid of you, then I trust what Klopp does. I don't give a bollocks what anyone else says. What any journalist, any fucking family member comes out, or he wanted to stay, he wanted to do this. He bollocks.
If Klopp wanted to keep Emre Can,
he'd still be there. Yeah. Same with Coutinho.
Same with Coutinho, probably.
No, he tried to make Coutinho stay, but if a player wants out, a player wants out. Simple.
Look, even if they wanted out, even if Klopp was in, like hands and knees begging them to stay, they went.
That's
like
it.
He showed
they were gone.
He showed as good a manager he is. Right, they're gone. We'll move on. We'll get X, Y, and Z in. This is the way we're going to play. And fuck them.
I think it hurts more with Torres that he actually went to a team in England.
Yeah.
In fairness, can't come out.
He was such a darling to the club. Like,
He was an icon.
He'd given us some unbelievable moments.
He kind
had
of
the song.
felt like he's fitted in so well with the club and the culture of the club. Said all the right things, did all the things, scored all the
armband, the whole lot.
Yeah.
But
he seemed to really endear himself to the fans, and the ad going around the park, like it was just perfect. It was a match made in heaven, only for the fact that he realised that his career wasn't going to last forever, and Liverpool were in transition again.
Yeah.
At the time, though, it was one that hurt me. It was like a parents' great breaking up.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it helped us from going because he fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
And what people don't realise is I think that season he left in the January and absolutely fell off a cliff at Chelsea, missing out on goals at Old Trafford and that. But I think he had 9 or 10 league goals going to January, which wasn't bad doing. And maybe it was a case that
he got his medals
injuries were look, he did get his medals, he got his Champions League win as well, but at Chelsea I'd imagine he's a bit of a joke figure.
I'd say he looks at them medals a bit funny, like
not truly kind of earned.
No,
where did he end up? China.
Yeah.
Says it all.
Well, he went back to Atletico, didn't he, for a little bit as well?
My friend. No use to know.
But you look at for me now, like the certain players come into the team, and some fans just plaster their opinion, to the mast about it. And before, all based on potential, and it's happened with some players. It happened with Fabinho. And Fabinho is the Emre Can that we were kind of promised from the people who pretended or just got ran away with themselves with the fantasy of how good Can was going to be. But Fabinho is everything that I was led to believe from the people who watch the Bundesliga football. Fabinho is the player that they sold Can to. So that's what's on. And the way Fabinho moves around the pitch and the influence he has in the game, totally different league. He's 10 times the player. Yeah. And so is Jordan Henderson and Wijnaldum. They're way better. Way better.
100%.
I think the team probably evolved around Can too quick, and that's probably why he felt like
he was a big boy.
Henderson was getting better, Wijnaldum was getting better, and he felt like he was better than them.
I think Can also felt that his way of being a first automatic choice for Germany was by getting this big move to Juventus as well, wasn't it?
Even his career with Germany, and Germany aren't even that good at the moment.
No.
He's ended up having to play right back and left back,
centre back,
and in different positions. This is a player who kind of was making demands about the position he was going to play.
I'd love to know, I put a message on the group there before, I'd love in that private moments to tell them when they sit there what goes through their head.
When they see what we've done.
I think I know a lot of people will have listened to Owen and Carragher's podcast, and I'd say you're probably getting close to the answer what Owen gave there when you kind of asked him when we won in 05, what do you think? He goes, well, I was delighted for his, but I was fucking sick
to the stomach.
To the stomach as well, really giving that up.
Yeah.
And I'd imagine that's exactly what they go through, particularly if Klopp definitely wanted Coutinho to stay. We're led to believe he wanted Can to stay, but he wanted a release clause, etc. So they were wanted. They weren't fucking pushed.
No, they weren't pushed out the door at all.
No. For the fair enough, Coutinho goes to Barcelona, has a little bit of success, gets some goals, now then it falls away. Can't go to a club and doesn't get in the Champions League squad. He's been sitting there going, what the fuck?
And it's Liverpool all over. You rarely hear of any other team in the world that players talk about when they leave, how much they regretted leaving.
Yeah.
And how much they felt loved by the fans and all that when they were there. You could probably liken it to maybe United, but you don't see players talking about Chelsea like that. You won't see it about City.
Or
they
Arsenal.
just don't have that, they just don't have that culture in the club. And that's what always bugs me is how could you leave that? You know what I mean? And it's dead right. Klopp didn't take Klopp long to realise when he came into Liverpool that they'll build a fucking statue about you here.
If you get it right. Yeah. And he's getting it absolutely right. Yeah.
The players look to the captain looks to the manager, and the manager looks to you. It's time to be heard. Pitch is the new app that gives football fans the voice you deserve. Get your views sent straight to media pundits, commentators on the club you love. From dodgy penalties to rating match performance, make your opinion count.
The manager's looking to sub him off, and the fans agree.
Download the Pitch app for free today. Be heard.
So much about the football. You know what I mean? It's the heart and soul of the city is the football club. And I know in other parts of the world is a bit like that as well, but yeah, there's always something that bugs me when someone leaves Liverpool and
because they think they can better themselves or that were beneath.
Has anyone ever left the club and bettered themselves?
I think Sterling to an extent is probably, and Suarez has done well,
Look, it's undeniable that at times when we were in transition and struggling and all that, the players will leave and go on to better teams because they're coming from such a low base. But for this team now, and the last couple of years, obviously the Champions League final, them winning it, racking up so many points last year, looking like we're cruising to the league this year.
But would you have seen? But the thing is, like in hindsight's great, but like if you were in their shoes at that time, aside from everything else, would you have really truly envisaged getting to this point now where we're on the cusp of winning the league off the back of winning a Champions League, off the back of nearly winning a Champions League and another league? At that time, 3 years ago, whenever it was,
I wouldn't have blamed them at all. But I don't give a fuck about them. It's more the fact that the fans going, oh geez, look, wouldn't it be great to have him back and blah blah. I don't give. Like he left.
You have him back to sit on the bench.
Like he's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Oh, look, you can hardly when you go back as far as Sterling, you can hardly blame him. I know he went not sideways, but he went to another English club, and Torres went to another English club. It always angers you a bit more. Coutinho goes to Barca. Suarez goes to Barca. Alonso goes to Madrid. You just have to accept that. Players will take that leap once the opportunity comes. I mean, it wouldn't even surprise you if one of our front three took that leap.
Yeah, the day will come.
At our peak.
The day will come.
It could still happen. I don't think it will, but it still wouldn't surprise you.
I'd say, let's say, I know people, I want to start this off, but like, let's say Mbappe comes in. Let's say, so who makes way there?
I think Mo Salah goes.
To where?
Madrid, maybe.
I'm not so sure. I think he'd rather stick around.
Yeah. The Mbappe one is funny, that
But who moves for him if he comes in? That's my question. What happens if he comes in? Because he'd want to start.
For the start, right?
Mbappe coming to Liverpool will be a bit of a marker.
Yeah.
I don't think it fits in with everything that's happened up to this point in Klopp's.
No, I get you.
I think it would probably mark something bad, Mbappe's playing for your team, you can't say that's bad, but it's probably something you're going,
he costs you 250 million, you're probably paying him 500 grand a week, all of a sudden that changes the dynamic.
So many
upsets the apple cart
of the club are broken.
At United, what they do, they gave De Gea loads of money, then they give another player money,
then Sanchez comes in on stupid money.
Players are sitting around
Ibrahimovic,
and they're thinking.
And agents are clever as well. You can be sure as fucking shit smells that. I'm not saying all the players at the club, but Mane, Van Dijk, if he signs a new one, there's a word for it. But if someone comes in and they get, I'm on the same as them. I'm joint highest paid player at the club.
Yeah, and they've won the medal. They've got the trophies and the medals in the. Do you know what I mean?
They'd have incentivised contracts like that. You know what I mean? If I'm signing this deal at 180 a week or 200 a week, if someone comes in, he's getting 250 weeks on my.
Yeah,
and there will be there could be a couple of them with them kind of contracts. So like Andy is saying, like the likes of that, it would probably be. It could turn out to be a bad thing when you dig down into it, rather than obviously signing Mbappe. What a player! Probably the third best on the planet at the minute after the two lads. Do you know what I mean? But it's more. It's going to be more the kind of a team over here, that kind of thing where you can get someone in for 50, 60 million, and he's willing
to buy into what
we were
about.
talking about that on Twitter. Maybe you're a bit more familiar about Werner than I am.
No, but I know who he is and listen to stuff about him, but I've only seen him playing probably twice or three times.
Yeah, it probably is.
Great text Joe and then to find out. I
love this. I want to see these people say this on the spot, live on camera. sitting on Twitter, it's very easy to pretend you know all these ins and outs of those players, but he was one that makes sense. I think someone asked earlier on Twitter, do you think it's done? Now, I don't know where you'd be to believe it's done, where you read what out, because it's a strong link, but it's just like every other player that gets linked. He makes sense, because you would imagine he'd kind of be happy enough to try and fight to get into the.
Well, it's a step up. I know Leafs are in the last 16, but it's a step up in money and everything, and money as well as everything else, because you'll obviously get a higher wage. Do you know what I mean? And like that, and you'd have to imagine. I think Michael Edwards has good relations with every fucking chief executive in Europe. But you'd imagine after doing the Keita deal,
he must be fucking sound.
That fucking that deal would be like not easy, but a deal would be workable with them because they've done business in the past. Like.
But deals have to be made a lot easier by the manager. Has to be. I think I heard the player talking about he went to meet Klopp and he spoke to the manager, and that was his mind was made up. Yeah. Now, I can't remember which player it was, but he was like, when I met the manager, that's when I made my mind up of where I was going. Yeah. I think it was actually Van Dijk when he met him the first time for the Sticks of Rock down in Blackpool, but we don't mention that. But no, that's what was said. You buy into the philosophy of the manager, and Klopp is, from what we've heard, is a serious motivator and
he's
gets the best out of players.
He doesn't put a word out of place. Mm-hmm. He's like a you know,
just say it, Andy. He's a god. He's a god. The man is a god.
It's like people you look down through history, you know, who are leaders.
Yeah.
It's just mad, and he's so unique.
He is so unique. He doesn't do it in a way that you could replicate, I don't think, either. I don't think you could.
Nobody else could stand there and break their bollocks laughing and then get serious again and say something that's so inspiring.
And analyse the game and do a quick analysis of the game in 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Because if you listen to his interviews, that's what he's doing.
Well, he sprints down the tunnel at half time, the jacket comes off. That's to give himself more time speaking to the players. Yeah. So I think he plays into the motivational and the Viking look and the roaring and shouting and that's obviously a big part of it as well. Yeah. But underneath that, there's a top tactician there, like really top tactician, and you don't win Champions Leagues, get the finals, rack up the points, put the performance in the league, like 0-0 at half time against Southampton, getting outplayed for a good bit of it. Yeah. Like they had their chances and come out and beat the brakes off in the second half. Yeah. By going in and banging cups and throwing tables. You don't.
But throwing out a few sound bites.
Yeah. I'm not saying Klopp doesn't know his tactics.
Oh no, I know that.
But I do think that he's really good at recognising his weaknesses and the shortfalls, and he brings in all the right people around him. Yeah. He trusts the people around him. Yeah. Like, that's part of the motivating people.
Of course it is. It's good leadership.
Yeah. Fucking unstoppable.
But the thing is, like, you were talking about which one of the three, you know, you might look at going elsewhere. I was reading their links with Firmino going to Bayern Munich potentially.
75 million. Would you stop?
What do you make of that?
We're treble it. Yeah. Double it anyway.
I mean, would he be almost a bigger miss?
Yeah.
I think he's the most important player. Yeah. I think he's the most influential player up top. I think he breaks the other two tick, in my opinion. But that's
you don't sell your spine. And that's essentially what he is. He's such an important part of the team, and loads of managers and top players around the world have said that he's the best striker in the world. He's kind of not invented a new position, but he's been one of those players who's
does that role, the Firmino role, the Makelele role.
The false nine.
Remember a Football Manager when you could put the arrow back to make the centre forward go back, and you put the two arrows in. That's what he is. He's the back arrow. He's the arrow going back. But looking at the best at it.
Remember Spain at the World Cup, or was it the Euros? They didn't play any strikers.
Yeah.
You know, they were ahead of the curve. Your centre forward doesn't need to, you know, you're talking about people that have a fucking clue about football.
Doesn't need to be a Benteke.
He's overrated. As Liverpool fans, we know how important he is to us. And I think, opposition fans can see it too.
Yeah. I think those 3 assists against Southampton just kind of put it squarely into focus, didn't it? Do you know what I mean?
That's a clinic.
Yeah.
That performance.
Yeah.
That is a performance that coaches will be showing kids for years.
Yeah. putting them on a plate.
Yeah.
See Charlie Austin tweeting again about him today.
Yeah, seeing that, I was wondering what the Jazz
Liverpool fan he is.
Yeah, I was seeing that, and then I clicked in and went, "Is that the Charlie Austin?" Going, what did he say? You're a treble or something like that?
No, he said, what did he say?
Won't be
that
happening.
bid is not welcome.
Yeah.
And he wore a jersey last year, didn't he? At the Champions League before the Champions League final, he was pointing at Firmino.
Yeah, I was saying that. Yeah. The only thing I'd say is if it came out in the press that Firmino turned around and said he wants to leave, just get us the league and maybe a Champions League and go where you look.
Yeah.
Not that I don't give a bollocks, but we'll have one league.
You'll miss those teeth though, wouldn't we?
Oh, they're brighter than me future. Say every time.
Get Charlie Austin in.
They have that like Brazilian kind of community there at the club with Fabinho and
Rihalson.
Come here. Would you say he gets in, boy? Richarlison.
Yeah, I'd say he declines if they're if they're in his shape. But
Bernard would get the invite as well, wouldn't he?
Oh, Bernard,
Bernard.
And the City boys are always with them, aren't they?
Yeah.
Richarlison probably doesn't go out because he thinks
he had to come in the back way though.
back down cheap.
But I'd actually say that when they're doing their parties, maybe it's Firmino at the end. I don't know whether the invite. He could rock in like fucking his missus with half nothing on. He's a fucking head case.
He's a lunatic.
He's deadly, like.
Yeah, and his fair coats.
Yeah, no, the point you make about that community there as well, like, you know, a few weeks ago, you've Firmino and Alisson in a swimming pool balling their eyes out.
That's different for them. The Brazilians are mad religious. Like,
they're not going.
You
got Fabinho in the mix. You know,
if I was signed by Liverpool tomorrow, I'd want me contract. I want 110 grand a week, and I want Alisson to dip me in the pill.
Yeah.
That's it. That's in the contract.
God's will.
God's will.
You should baptise them all.
Much love.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if Coutinho's still in that WhatsApp group with them lads.
Coutinho left.
Keep adding them back in.
Throwing up a load of gifts to Henderson lifting his
Just add Phil back in there, will you? Oh yeah, there he is, Coutinho. Coutinho's left.
Pictures of his houses going up though.
His new gaff. Does he still live next to Luis Suarez, I wonder?
Oh yeah,
that was part of the package, wasn't it?
Suarez checked out the house for him.
Yeah.
He probably fucking bit the auctioneer, the mad bastard. Look at that thing.
So look, I'm just going to go back to one of the questions that was put out there on Twitter earlier, and it was a question about when did we realise this season when we were going to win this league. Because look, it's pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah.
Paddy, what can you think of a game when you thought, hang on,
Fabinho's goal against Man City?
Okay,
that for me was the moment when we just, I don't know what it was. Just was watching the game in a bar in town. It's just, I don't know. It's just like we just took the wind out of ourselves. It was like they were coming. They were gonna try and beat us and close the gap by 3 points, but I think when that goal goes in, it just takes the wind out of ourselves in every way, shape and form. The manner of the goal, the way the goal was scored, the end, the ground was hopping, his celebration, everyone's celebration was like, we're really starting to do this. And other people's opinions might be other games, but for me, that was the moment for me where I'm like, this is actually going to fucking start happening now.
Andy?
Yeah, I think it was coming into December, we were talking about if this month goes well and there's no blow up with the amount of games, we're having to travel to the World Club Championships, and then we coming out completely unscathed. And I think
stronger,
like I'll be at the start of December. Correct me if I'm wrong, might have been about 9 points or 11 points or something like that, and you're thinking like that's possible to overturn. But what I kept saying on the pod when you're coming in was, you're dependent on City to win every game to close that gap, and also Liverpool to drop them points. And it became unrealistic that City would catch us. And then I think once we played over Christmas, when we played Leicester were still
in it.
Yeah, they were still kind of in it. You know,
once we shrugged them off.
Yeah, once we shrugged them off, I think we went about 12, 13 points ahead.
Yeah,
I mean that for me was like, if we don't win it from here, it's a fuck up.
I think we were 11 ahead when that game kicked off on Stevens night. I think we were 11 ahead.
Yeah, so that's when, you know, I saw here last year we're going to win the league and all of that, but No, I think I truly believed, the turn of the year that it was for us.
Shane?
I would be. Look at I'm probably the pessimistic one on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Watching matches through his fingers and all, yeah.
Matches through my fingers. Once I gone, behind the couch, bag of meanies. I think like Andy, I absolutely didn't think we'd come out of January
unscathed
with the same amount of points lead, and the fact that we tagged on a few more points. Like you said, I'm nearly sure it was 11 when that game kicked off against Leicester. So to go 14 clear, having a tough January, to come through and come out even slightly ahead, I think that's really kind of when. But really, it was only really when Spurs beat City then last week and 22 points clear, you really know it's done then. It's absolutely finished. Like, not that they were going there, but I would be kind of one looking at if we did drop points last City at that winning, and because I was one of the few last year, not one of the few, but I didn't see City dropping any points on the run in last year. From people were saying both teams will drop points, and I didn't see City dropping points. Turned out neither of us did. But yeah, look, once we got through January, tagging on a few extra points onto what already the lead was, I think then, you'd be, for me anyway, the pessimistic one saying, Jesus, if we lost them here, then I'd fucking go out and dig a hole for myself.
I think smashing Everton as well. I think that was for me when we just, it was all the stars were starting to align then, sort of thing, and then obviously beating United. I mean,
it's the manner of, I think, the way we beat United. I think the goal in the last minute and stuff like that.
We put to bed that whole draw scenario. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a completely different mentality. It's less about the actual. But it's just the relentlessness, really, isn't it? Every week they just,
It's a hard month. January was a hard month.
Yeah,
it's a hard month to come out with United, Spurs, FA Cup like that. Like
Wolves away.
Wolves away.
Wolves away. The tough game. Wolves for me away was the one for me.
That was a huge.
That was the one for me. We go ahead early through Henderson. They come back 1-0, and then we go.
They were strong as well, weren't they? They were looking.
We were poor in a lot of stages.
Alisson was top drawer.
He was top drawer.
For me, certainly a toughest game of the season.
I was just about to say that. They were the best team we played.
Had their backs up after the cup game. Obviously, they were robbed against us a bit.
From a VAR,
I thought that was the game. We might have obviously had a draw, or maybe we lost it, but in fairness, it just showed.
It was in the balance there, I think, the last 20 minutes.
That was the game where the angry celebration came back.
Because it hadn't been required all season.
The celebration has been out in a long time. Probably at the start of the season. Was it maybe against
the effing and being celebration?
What?
The effing and being, you've. Like the old hands with the City bus job.
I think
that's me every game. Not when the goals go in, but when you win 1-0 or 2-1. Counting it down when the final whistle goes. The angry is there. I'm the angry celebration every single one.
I've always had that. Really always believed that we should be better, somewhere than we are, and I'd be giving it socks pent up anger, but. Just this season, it's just been a joy. Like, I'm celebrating like a sap.
I know. I mean, the United equaliser was a big one. I think that was I celebrated that quite.
Did you celebrate that? I celebrated that just because we scored 4 goals in that game. 2. I celebrated them they were real goals, and it didn't feel like a fool. I watched them in a pub, and you didn't feel like a fool. There was no one turning around to you and saying, you dope, because they knew as soon as you sit down, there's probably going to be another goal.
The United home game was actually with Darry, your workmate, and Ryan, his young man. With the couple of goals that were disallowed, I was happening like me and his young fella were running and walking the pub, fingers to United fans.
I heard a fella's let them down badly for the Crystal Palace tickets. I heard. Really badly. I mean, look, it happens, doesn't it? It does happen. So, look, do you think we're going to go invincible, Paddy?
I'd like to. Just for the
Do you think we will? That wasn't the question.
Yeah, no, sorry. Fucking slick dick over there, what? No, say that again. Sorry, we lost me trying to talk.
Will we go invincible?
Yes.
We will, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. For what reasons? We're just too good at the back, and the goalkeeper's too good. Even if the front three hadn't for them, we still see games out, and we just managed to nick one. Because
Do you think a few more draws will start to creep in?
maybe towards the end when it's done, and players will have their own in the Champions League, and the manager will as well, as we were saying earlier on. Maybe, but it depends. It depends on the mentality of the players and the manager what they would like. I'd imagine that they want to smash all the records. So when you look back, even if we do only win the league once, that for the next 20, 30 years, because let's be honest, if we win every game for the rest of the season and we've one draw, I don't give a bollocks who comes along after fucking anybody. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And it's a combination of the league isn't as good. City have kind of hit a little dip in form, but we have just been relentless since last year. This isn't just this season. Not many people, but people might forget that last year we were that good. See, we were just that little bit better, but we won the Champions League, so that cancels that out. But this year we've just maintained our level, and City's has dropped off that little bit, and that little drop off has given us, as Davo was saying, 20 odd points gap. That's the difference now. We're at a level that if you don't keep up pace for us and you drop points, we're not going to drop points. And I think that's why we go invincible, because we don't underestimate teams for a second. And I think that shows the mentality of the players when Henderson's walking off against Spurs, turning around the Klopp and saying, that's fucking shit. That's not good enough. And he still won the game. The game result away from home, result we needed, result we wanted. And he's the captain of the club and he's not happy with the way we played. I think that shows what they're after and what it means to the players and the manager, of course.
Shane? Different question. No, different question. I'll give you a different question. 22 points clear now. How many points do you think we win the league by come the end of the season? More or less?
Less.
Okay.
Yeah, less.
What would you say? Range?
16, 18.
Okay.
16, 18.
And just because our focus shifts onto FA Cup and Champions League?
It's going to shift. Look, I'd like to think that we get through against Atletico over two legs, and it's strange. It's similar with the FA Cup. I'm not a fan of the FA Cup. Just toured around shit pitches, but spread over a few channels. I just don't like it. I prefer the League Cup.
It's a mess now, isn't it? The FA Cup.
Mess, but at the same time, you're going into a game now against Chelsea, and if you win that, cup competitions kind of seem to open up overnight. Champions League is the same. I think if you can get through the last 16, next thing is only 8 left, and everyone's looking at each other, sizing each other up. So, I think after that, if we can get through against Atletico, I think focus will definitely shift onto that. And just one other thing, I know you're talking about this. I didn't think this is when, obviously, wasn't when I thought we won the league, but I think Mane's winner at Villa Park might be one of the most important goals this season. I think City played after us that day. I could be wrong. I think they did. We were shit. Draw would have been all right because we were shit, and to walk away getting 2 late goals like that, I think that goal might go down as one of the most important ones of the season, just to set the tone.
Yeah. And Andy, different question again. How many leagues in the bag?
Yeah.
Do we end the season with just a league, or do you think we end up adding to that?
Yeah, no, we end up winning the Champions League and the FA Cup as well.
He's gone all in.
Yes. Oh my God! Jesus Christ!
No, I'm gonna even double down on this.
Okay.
We will be invincible and we win the league by 30 points. The trend is going to continue. We're 22. And we're gonna win at the weekend, hopefully, and make that 25, which makes that record even better again. The gap between first and second. People saying it's a shit league. It was a shit league when Leicester won the league because they won it with 82
something, 81 something.
We're on course to win.
Isn't everyone, sorry to go crush it, but isn't everybody else's points tally
on par
with previous years?
Yeah.
It's the fucking same.
Yeah.
Of course it is. So
that's a lie anyway.
Of course it is, yeah.
So no matter what, no matter how, you know, no matter who's challenging us this year, we're still winning the league. Because it's unheard of at this point to have only dropped 2 points.
Yep.
I've no reason to think why they can't continue on the same sort of form and open that gap up. Like we've a third of the season, say, left.
But City are going to take their eye off it, surely. City are going to prioritise Champions League, FA Cup. They've got another cup final, coming up as well.
To drop points against anyone.
Yeah.
And I think we're liable to keep on winning.
Yeah.
I think they can easily open up that gap forward at the 30-odd points. I think we can easily break that 100 points mark, be invincible, and win everything. Why not? I think in 6 months, in a year's time, we're already unbeaten a year, or over a year now. I think we could be next Christmas talking about still being unbeaten. Like, it's so ridiculous how good this team are.
It's got to the point where
football and you can lose a game.
It's not real life.
But on the balance of probability, we're going to keep on winning.
Yeah.
Because that's how good the team are. We're witnessing the best Liverpool team of your life.
And with City, the obviously getting to the League Cup final again.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's another game. It's another league game to be rearranged.
Somewhere.
Yeah,
along with the West
against
Ham
Arsenal.
Game, along with the West Ham game. That got called off. So that's 2 extra.
And then if they get to the 6th round, I think they've got an easier 6th.
Well,
so they're pretty much in the 6th round. That's another rearranged game.
Yeah.
They're going to have a ridiculous fixture congestion come the end of come the back end of the season. Like so, I mean, it's got to the point now, hasn't it? Really, where for Liverpool to lose a game without tempting fate, tea time Saturday.
Yeah.
We'll get on to predictions in a minute.
Jim McDonald.
You need opposition teams need like 3 or 4 things to go in the favour, don't they? They need probably the early goal. Yeah. They need us to be missing chances. Probably need us to get a red card or something of that ilk. Maybe even Alisson getting sent off or something, daft. He's already done that once this season and we've won the game. So we've kind of like, we've dealt with that already. So, maybe getting someone else, or maybe getting 2 players sent off. But a lot of things would need to go in opposition's favour, you feel, don't you? Because even if we go a goal down, you always fancy us to come back. If we're a goal down with 10 minutes to go, you fancy us to at least get a draw. We seem to have all angles covered, don't we?
Yeah, even when we can see it first, we're winning the most points of any other team.
Yeah.
Just records all over the shop.
Yeah.
It hopefully gets to the stage where we're going to be playing teams and teams are going to be resting players against us because it's just an on-runner.
Yeah.
I know I was saying earlier on that teams look at us as a cup final, but if your teams are fighting for relegation, they need to rest players. There's no point trying to fucking come out.
Well, I think more so if you're talking about a mid-table team and then they've got an FA Cup 6th round match coming up at the a few days later or whatever, then they might think otherwise, or an FA Cup 5th round.
But I think teams are beaten before they get off the bus when they come to Anfield.
Well, that just happens when you're that dominant, doesn't it? Yeah.
I used to give out shit about City.
Yeah, I used to do my head in.
Over against City. Now it's us.
Yeah, and now teams are actually having a go against City again, which is like it's
refreshing.
Well, Gar rightly said the Wolves game was probably our toughest this season, and I tend to agree with that. But for me, the best team to rock up at Anfield so far was Southampton that first.
Yeah, it was And
just going on what you said there, what teams have to do to win a game, they were excellent for a half, really good. Alisson really top stuff in the first half. He's been unbelievable since he's come back in the team, and they get dispatched 4-0, probably being the best side that have come to Anfield.
Because they put so much into that first half. This is it.
Like that, and Andy is right to say, like, I'm obviously the pessimistic one, but Andy using like common sense and stuff like that. I know it's football, but the lot of probability was saying you're gonna keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna have to be a freak.
It's probably the matter, but as she's talking about the Southampton game and talking about ex-players and all, we've seen the reaction of Klopp and all the players towards Danny Ings. So the level of respect that the manager and the players must have for an old player, like probably the group was that close, and he wasn't getting in, and he knew he wasn't going to get in because of the front three are there, and he went and he's proved himself at Southampton. He scored a load of goals, and he is a decent player, but he's just not at the level that we're at. Unfortunately, I liked him. I thought he was a decent player, but just run a bad luck, bad injuries, stuff like that. Just never really got the crack. And I'd like to think that Klopp looks at him and says, he's one that we made and this is how good he can be on his day. But he's just, we've went up gears since he's left.
It's the injuries really that screwed him when he was at Liverpool. Like there's a bit of a Bellamy about him. Like he's so busy. He's a player you want on your team, you know. And it's great to see him staying fit now and doing so well at Southampton. And to see a player like that so liked.
I mean, it was only a few weeks ago. I just didn't realise how many goals he'd actually scored.
Yeah.
You know,
bunch of goals, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
He's decent.
You know, you see him getting one every week sort of thing, but then you realise, hang on, it is one every fucking week, and he's up there, you know, up the scoring charts. Actually scored more goals than any of our players, basically.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is crazy to think when we're so far ahead. No?
But again,
No?
but again, the manager came out and said, what a boy, what a lad, worked hard, done everything was asked, and just didn't have the best of luck with injuries. And when a club came in to take him away, we didn't stop him. He could have tried and stayed and tried to play his way into the team, but he wanted regular football.
He probably wouldn't be getting many games, would he? Yeah.
He wouldn't have got games, and that's why he moved on, because he was
promised. It's not your
games.
Henderson scenario where he's you know, looking at facing a move to Fulham there and looking at the Liverpool team. You can see a way getting into that team at the time.
Yeah.
But at the time,
that Henderson story's mad.
Yeah.
That's just like David Moyle talking about on the phone and Brendan Rodgers saying you're being sold. No, I'm not going anyway.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be like the dream scenario for a footballer. You say, hang on, I was going out the door 5 years ago, now look at me, I'm the fucking captain of the club.
That's why he's captain. And that's why so many managers have had him captain at all levels.
Yeah.
You know,
And some fella with dementia said he couldn't walk, he had bad gait.
Yeah. But, you know, that's what a captain is like.
I went to the gig on Saturday night with the Anfield Rap lads, and I was talking to Neil Atkinson for a while, and he was talking about like interviewing Henderson and Klopp, and he was just saying, he says, people don't really understand. He says, but I'm telling you now, he says, I've spoke to both of them, I interviewed both of them, and he said, it means as much, if not more, to them than it does to the fans.
This means more.
Of course. Yes. But no, he genuinely said, if you think for 1 second that Jurgen Klopp and Jordan Henderson are going to take their foot off the pedal, he said, I can guarantee, he says, that's not the case. He said that they are as much involved and want the league more than any fan around. And then he told me how he'd be drunk for a week, and that he wouldn't.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah,
more than a week.
Isn't that great to hear? Like,
yeah, it's brilliant. I couldn't believe it.
The
like,
thing about modern football is thinking that the players don't give a shit.
No.
And all, like,
he was adamant. He was 100% adamant. He says, I will tell you this now. He says, it means as much, if not to them, than it does to anyone else.
You only have to look at certain moments, like obviously winning the Champions League last year, how Henderson was, how he behaved. At the end of the game against Barcelona,
on the ground,
when Ronaldo went down to the ground, Milner crying, you know, these players are like us.
We've come a long way since not that long ago, where I was going to Anfield and having to watch Glenn Johnson go down that right wing, and then when people were giving out to him, he was giving out shite back to the crowd.
He was calling the fans knobheads. And,
if you look,
it was disgusting.
When a player's career is over, right, will anybody look back at, let's take example for Alan Lallana, for example. Alan Lallana will go down as one of Liverpool's not greatest players, but one of Liverpool's best players, because he won the league and he contributed to us winning the league. Not a best player technically, but he mucked in when he needed to muck in, and decent, yeah. But again,
he'll leave the club on good terms.
And he could have been moved on long ago with his injuries, similar to Danny Ings, but he wasn't. He was kept around. And
there must be something. There must be a reason for it, because look, we all felt at one stage and another, what the fuck, Lallana? How is he still at the club? How has he not been sold? And other fans have been like that about some of the players that are really performing now, like Henderson. But you have to just trust
the manager,
Klopp, or even whoever's managing and the coaching staff. Then it's not a conspiracy.
No,
it's not like they have notes. There's a reason, and when these managers and coaches are spending their day with the players, you have to trust their judgment.
Yeah,
100%. Fucking hell. I mean, what's it going to take to shut some fans up?
I think I'm getting to the point now where I think people are just purely on the wind up. Some people are just 100% on the wind up, you know. But some of them don't, to be fair. They openly admit it as well.
I saw that Neco Williams is now average.
Yeah.
Shots only played 2 games.
Can't get a stream, but I'm here and blah, blah, blah.
Klopp said he's going to give him some games when
like the league gets wrapped up to the rest strength.
Didn't watch the match. Williams is average.
Yeah. In the age of these unpopular opinion types of tweets are the W's and the L's and all that.
Unpopular opinions.
Yeah, like fucking wreck the head. But there's so many people who have these fucking crazy takes on football. And
have you got an unpopular opinion now?
No, because
I have a question, Andy.
Don't look for attention. Like they.
Not under your real name, anyway.
And that is it for tonight, folks.
But either it's just your wind up, or else you've just positioned yourself in such a weird vacuum that is your. That's where you're informed.
Your niche.
That's where you receive all your information, your timeline.
Yeah.
And you're not looking outside that vacuum. Because it's when you see somebody saying, like, obviously Henderson's going to move on this summer, you're like, what? Where's this coming from? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in any world.
No.
But if you watch the game and you thought someone played poorly, it's fine to say it.
Of course, yeah.
Well, it's fine to say.
It's fine to say one week this such and such a player had a great game. Next week say they were up to shite.
I've heard people talk about Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez is finished. Is he? Yeah. Why is England's number one defender ahead of fucking £75 million fucking Lego head?
I don't rate loving it whatsoever, but you have to hold your hand up in the games that he's been fucking top.
When he's been decent.
He was very good there. Just say what you fucking say.
Where the cup games this season?
Exactly,
the cup
catchphrase.
The cup game.
Use your eyes. Don't fucking be trying to get some validation from some fucking other gobshite.
There were some horrific performances in that cup game. It wasn't just him, was it?
It
It's
was
just the senior players.
It's just that
triangle of Matip, Lovren and Fabinho were atrocious.
And then Origi up the...
Yeah, and Origi. It's like a traffic on. But he's the real, isn't it? He's not even playing with an attitude like it's beneath him. He's just not trying a leg.
Yeah.
And then with Barcelona, he's fucking like scoring goals. Champions League final, scoring goals. He's not going around there thinking this is beneath me. He's just like kind of going, not trying.
What did you hear the interview with Milner saying, talking about getting off a plane and all? You find like an iPhone X. Belongs to that's what he said he belongs to. He said he just floats around, right? Doesn't give a bollocks. Says he leaves AirPods on the plane, Beats earphones, phones all over the shop. And he's like, that's D-Box. That's the. It just leaves them around.
He said he speaks like 5 languages, like intelligent guy and all. But what did he say?
He's never late to a meeting. He's never early either.
It's like 30 seconds before the meeting starts. He walks through the door. You know what I mean? Just as laid back as he gets, I'd say.
Some people are just like that, aren't they? So look, predictions for. Let's take a prediction for Saturday and the first leg of the Champions League game, Paddy.
I'll say a cagey 3-0 against Norwich.
Okay.
And obviously we're away.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
I'll take a 1-0 win over there. Just a goal over there.
Okay,
take a goal.
As long as it's not a 0-0 or a 1-0 loss.
I just want to score there. So when we come back to Anfield, that there's a little bit of a cushion. Not that I don't think we need it, but I'd like to just score over there. Take the win out of South.
Yeah, Shane.
I think 2-0 Saturday, goal in each half.
Okay.
Might take a tour around, but Paddy said 3 already. So I think 2-0 Saturday and. Yeah, I tend to agree with Paddy in a way. I'll probably go 1-1 over in Spain.
Okay. 1-1. Andy?
4-0 at the weekend.
4-0 in Spain.
No, I said I think there's going to be drama. If anywhere there's going to be drama this season, the league's wrapped up. It's going to be in the Champions League. Maybe we get caught napping in the Champions League. So I think we can see it over there. Maybe 1-1. There'll be something to play for when it comes back to Anfield because we never really put things to bed.
No, we don't do things comfortable, do we?
Yeah, we don't do a hand.
No.
Yeah, we're looking at in the group.
Unless it's Porto.
Yeah. In the group stage, we're hoping that we'd be able to make the last game a dead rubber.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
Yeah.
So I always think in the Champions League there's always a little bit of drama, and just be in the balance. Big night in Anfield then. I'm
going to go with a 4-1 conceding. was 4-1 at home, wasn't it? I think it'll be the same result against Norwich 4-1. And I think against Atletico, I don't know, I've not got a great feeling about it, but I think it'll be a 2-1 loss.
Could easily happen.
It could. I know. I kind of tend to agree. I think it's all set up for. I think we go through ultimately. I think it could be like a 2-1 away loss and a 2-0 win at Anfield and all the glory that goes with it.
We don't want to give them something to fight for.
You going to right?
No. Gar?
2-1 away to Atletico. We win.
Okay, that's confident. Yeah.
Back four is not good enough.
I think it's our European expert here.
We win 4-0 the weekend.
Smash them.
Yeah.
Gar's
Easy.
football, man.
Gar is the football. I think he's your researcher.
No. Listen to a bit of, just listen to like loud. Or just listen to a lot of podcasts.
Davo, how's Andre Wisdom doing these days?
I don't know, is he still with Derby? Laurie. Who's he with? Red? I just listen to podcasts.
Sacco's a painter and decorator now, isn't he?
When are we getting Markovic back?
He's an apprentice with football boss. Markovic.
Do you have an AOI Pro sub?
No.
With,
No.
Trev got me one.
Did he? What's it like?
That's whopper.
Yeah?
Really good. I really like the show after the game. It's a call in or something.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. People call in and all.
I thought you'd be a stats man.
Yeah, no, it's good. The stats, David.
Statman Gaz?
There's a stat show. It's called The Stat Show. It's cool.
We don't want to take him serious, am I?
Trev hosts it, and
Is that with Simon, is it?
don't know. Yeah.
Just listen to Gar when he's on the strippers. Gar's the football man. He knows what he's at. Don't mind Grays or Joe.
AOI came after
Gar's
Gar.
the
AOI came
football
after
man.
Gar.
Yeah.
Gav's the man.
Savage plays in the back from him, doesn't he?
Lily?
Used to play. Yeah, Lily, yeah. Lily.
Right, we'll wrap it up, but before we go,
Day 5 in the Big Brother house. The kids will start the born things.
before we go, just to say that there will be a fan cam video out tomorrow, apparently, on the Pitch Sport Football website. I'm personally hoping it's Keith talking about Man U fans. But I'm not.
We ring off com now, we?
I'm not quite sure. What game is it? Have you any idea what game it is? This fan cam that's coming out. What game it relates to?
No, Gar was going to do it.
So look, fan cam video out tomorrow. So have a look out for that one. We'll be back next Monday, and we will definitely be seriously previewing the Atletico game at that point, and looking back at the Norwich game, and then the next league game after that. Anyone?
Well, I know it. Because we're going to it.
West Ham, isn't it? Yeah, West Ham Monday Night Football. Should be a good one, yeah? Oh, so a few trippers going over, yeah?
Special deal.
Special deal, yeah.
Tripper deal.
Boat straight into
Calais.
Not quite, but the whole trip was costing me about €150.
Yeah.
So, this idea that the club are making it very hard to go.
Inaccessible.
It's not inaccessible. It's literally €150 when you can be in a game.
Yeah, I'm the same. We're on the same with the flights and stuff. So.
And then £400 for your ticket.
That all depends on the custodians. I don't know which one.
They're bogies, though, aren't they? They're fucking bogies.
I've got a special brother's rate. I don't know Ray is charging.
Right, so we're going to wrap it up. We'll be back next week. Over and out.